Some of these people already, and we mentioned Stephen Sack, the exhibition Neglected Tradition, Matsumela Manaka, Echoes of African Art, you mentioned Gavin Young. I mean, they were part of a broader process that was happening. So there was then a very deliberate search on the part of white academics and white curators for black artists, right? And you guys were in a very interesting position because a lot of you were carving. And people were looking for the link to the rest of the continent. So, in a way, the environment was also becoming favorable. Okay? And then, as I say, things change again. And now you're carving, and someone is looking for somebody who's using a camera. And so, there's lots of things. It's layered. It's not just one set of explanations. There's lots of things. But when you bring in local things like you had a space, Ditik, and then you realize also how that played out, because now people who did not know the whole province and everywhere to go, they needed this spot to go, the one place. And as you said, people were collecting work from all over, bringing all that work there. So there's a lot of factors that come into meaning that the environment changes. And of course the politics is also a big part of that. So I'm trying to understand how did you just run out of steam with the VhaVenda Art Foundation? Did you feel that other things were creating new opportunities? Why did the foundation fade out?
I think one of the things was we lost a TK because the Development Corporation decided to enlist, I think it was Old Mutual or one of these big insurance places. They were going to make it a project, and they brought in a couple of people from Cape Town, a couple of coloured people actually, who'd never lived in real Africa in their lives before and had never worked in arts and crafts. So they immediately started to order sort of cheap, crappy curios from Malawi and Zimbabwe and make mugs and things, and I was no longer involved. I'd left the VDC. Dave had left. So the money and the administrative skills and the resources, if you like, were no longer there. The venue was no longer there, and the people that had the ability to bring everybody together, that died out. So that it just seemed to all, and then we started to focus on Matongoni.
I thought that it was also triggered by the political change when the old regime collapsed with the VDC collapsing, then in a way. And then, like I remember, I don't know whether immediately after that there was that colored couple first, I don't know. But I know later Ngonani took over. And I think prior to that, Dima told me that the TV is closing down. So you guys have to do something. So I went there and talked to, I don't know whether it was Jan Kruger, who said, no, it's not closing down. Then I didn't know what to do because I was already tipped that no, it's closing down. Then later, within a week or so, everything was closed down. So I went to them and said, now that it's closed, what can we do? Can you give us a small randavel? Because no, it was there was like the main space, and then some other halls which were used for some restaurants and whatever. So they said, okay, let's try your luck there with your small randavel. And in a meeting, I told the artists that, no, guys, we've been given the small randavel. Let's fill it up to show that we still have a lot of art in around. Then at the same time, there was Muzunga, Samson Muzunga had organized a small exhibition, a show sort of, which he thought would take place in his own house, and seeking the financial help from the VDC, and the VDC said, no, we cannot help someone for his own personal being, unless if it's hosted at Paper Resort, which was like still under the VDC. Then it was shifted from his house to Paper Resort. So he lost an entry fee. He was targeting the entry fee. I was not aware. He's an artist. And then after that, we took our staff to Paper Resort for that show. After that show, everything came down to the TK, to the main space. Then I said, guys, strategically, the work has been back to its original place. Let's make use of this space. So things worked until there was not like now the issue of who would be manning the exhibition. And my name came out, and I said, well, I'm like a flea. I'm always, traveling to Joburg, to all over the place. So how about asking someone who is, homebound, and then they said Mangoma. And by then we didn't know how crazy the guy was, right? It was like, okay, but there would be no man to pay him unless if we said, okay, they would be from the commission would be able to pay for him to man the exhibitions. I mean, just the collection, right? That was the first month there was no sales, so there was no commission. I had to pay him from my own pocket 200. And then later, when the sales started to pick up, he realized the possibility of making money. So he started to chase everyone out of the ticket. And then thinking that he would own the ticket for himself. So it was like his private.
Was this Mangoma?
Mangoma, yeah. So it would like now become his private property.